Will it be gold or silver for Gilas tomorrow? At this point, the national feel it's enough honor to be in the Asian Games finals again after 33 years. Fast, focused, and fearless, here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Denise Tan. Rice inflation hits its highest level in 14 years despite a price cap on the staple. Headline inflation came in at 6.1% from just 5.3% in August. Year on year, that figure is still lower than the 6.9% recorded in September last year. The strongest push in price increases came from rice, which recorded a double-digit inflation of nearly 18%. That's the highest recorded level since the grains inflation clocked in at over 22% in May 2009. The Marcos administration implemented a month-long price ceiling on rice that started on September 5th. National statistician Dennis Mapa explains the low compliance with the cap.
Tinignan namin yung ating mga presyo sa ating mga sample outlets at mix ang ating nakikita. Marami kasi tayong mga varieties, regular milled and wheel milled na kinukuha at pinakuha ko sa ating field offices. Yung number of prices collected for regular milled rice, 2,601. Ganong karami yung aming kinukuha ng mga items, no? For regular milled, 2,601. At ang nakita namin, only 640 of these prices ay nagfo-fall doon sa price cap na 41 or below. Para naman dun sa wheel milled rice, ang total number of varieties ang aming tinatrack ay 3,498 at only 687 or mga 20% ay nag-fall doon sa price cap. Hindi natin masasabi yung causality kung mayroon talagang effect kung wala yung price cap. For example, I suppose this is a research question that researchers would study based on the data that we are collecting.
The rice price cap has been lifted, but some retailers opted to keep their prices steady. In a public market in Mandaluyong, local rice goes for 50 pesos to 56 pesos per kilo. Some well-milled varieties are still at 45 pesos per kilo, while a kilo of regular milled rice is at 41 pesos. On the other hand, imported varieties like Jasmine, Dinorado, and Coco Pandan are priced at 57 to 58 pesos a kilo. Vice President Sara Duterte said those against the granting of confidential funds to her offices are somehow enemies of the state. The VP is also head of the Department of Education. Duterte explained confidential and intelligence funds or CIFs are being used by her departments to promote peace and security. The VP added DepEd is part of the Anti-Terrorism Council and the NTF-ELCAC, so there should be no question as to why it needs the CIF. In total, Duterte's agencies, which are relatively civilian in nature, are asking for 650 million pesos in confidential funds.
Anyone who attacks or undermines funds allocated for peace and order is naturally assumed to have insidious motivations. Such actions go against the protection and well-being of the citizenry. Kung sino man ang kumukontra sa confidential funds ay kumukontra sa kapayapaan. Kung sino ang kumukontra sa kapayapaan ay kalaban ng bayan.
Prior to this, the lower chamber has decided to realign the confidential funds from the OVP and DepEd to agencies actually dealing with national security. The Senate is also set to discuss the matter during the budget deliberations. The Philippine Coast Guard has successfully mounted another resupply mission to the BRP Sierra Madre in Ayungin Shoal, but not without resistance from China. Chinese Coast Guard vessels were seen intentionally cutting across the path of PCG's escort vessel, BRP Cabra. The Filipino ship had to slow down to prevent a collision. No less than 12 Chinese militia ships were also spotted making rounds in the area. But the National Security Council said the resupply mission was completed just like the last two trips, likewise marred by harassment from China's troops. We're bringing you more stories after this quick break. Keep it here on One News. Thanks for staying with us here on One News Now. I'm Denise Tan. Gilas Pilipinas advances to the finals of the Asian Games for the first time in more than 3 decades. The Nationals stunned China with a come-from-behind win. After a tight first quarter, China zoomed to a 20-point lead just before halftime. But come the second half, Gilas naturalized player Justin Brownlee got it going for Team Pilipinas. Gilas slowly chipped away at the lead until Brownlee nailed back-to-back booming threes as the Philippines regained the lead. China bricked the last shot of the game as Gilas held on to victory 77-76. By tomorrow, the Philippines will have another gold or silver in the Asian Games as Gilas takes on Jordan in the final match.
It's a miracle. I mean, I can't even imagine it happening that way, you know. The guys just kept battling, and so amazing. Great character to follow that up after the Iran game. We should have confidence, you know. We should be a little bit confident in our shots, and hopefully we can get out to a good start against Jordan.
Maggie Ochoa brings the country's second Asian Games gold after ruling the 48-kilogram division of women's jiu-jitsu. Ochoa took down United Arab Emirates' Balkis Abdullah for the top prize. Ochoa was able to win by advantage after getting a mount over Abdullah at the 4.5-minute mark of their bout. The 33-year-old ran through her opponents this Asian, defeating bets from Mongolia, Kazakhstan, and Thailand on the way to the gold. Before Ochoa's win, pole vaulter EJ Obiena also gave the Philippines a gold medal. One News Now will be back tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. I'm Denise Tan. We are One News, all sides, all the time.